What's going on, YouTube? I know I'm a little late on the subject, but I have posted about the mass shooting, Robert Card, the mass shooter that just recently occurred, not even a week ago. Now, as most of you already know, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but yes, Robert Card was actually a victim himself. Now, this is for the people who's not familiar with this technology, the microwave fray effect or the HEAR system. Here's the U.S. patent number for it, so you guys could, know that it's real and it's verified. Now, what this is, sound is induced in the head of a person by radiating the head with microwaves in a range of 100 megahertz to 10,000 megahertz that are modulated with a particular waveform. Okay, so now, as you know, the suspect in the case who's now deceased, that's another story, had recently had hearing problems. He was losing his hearing, and he just got some high power hearing aids, as you can read here in this article. At the same time he got these high power hearing aids, Robert Card started suffering from the voices. Let's read the first article. Paragraph. Robert Card, 40 years old, a firearms instructor of longtime member of the Army Reserves, began to hear voices that were saying horrible things about him a couple of months ago when he was fitted for high-powered hearing aids. So this article is saying it's letting you guys know that when he got fitted for these high-powered hearing aids is when the voices started. So that's not suspicious at all. It said he was picking up voices that he had never heard, she told NBC. His mind was twisting them around. He was humiliated by the things that he thought were being said. Now, I don't think his sister was in the loop, didn't know. I don't think that she was a part of the targeting or the play that was being ran on Robert Card. And for the simple fact, I don't think that everyone's around you is involved when you're targeted by these things and by these entities or apparatuses, if you will. Now, I don't think that everybody around you is kept in the loop for the simple fact they want to make it seem real. They really want the target to seem crazy. So, without his sister being in the loop, it make her reaction a lot more sincere, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, let's talk about the U.S. military and how they have a long-standing history, all the way up to this day, of experimenting on their own soldiers, not only their own soldiers, but the citizens on which they're supposed to serve and protect, right? The U.S. military is making lasers that create voices out of thin air. This was an article from 2018, and this article has stated how that they was hoping that, read the last line, they hope to be able to say intelligible words within the next 3 years. Now, when you hear this and see articles like this, you have to think, who are they using this on to verify that it actually worked? Who is signing up to have their brain microwave just to have voices induced in their head? I don't think there's one person on earth who would volunteer for radiation experiments, knowing that radiation, it does unrepairable damage to not only your physiology, but to you on a molecular level. It destroys the DNA, and all of the damage sustained by radiation is non-reversible. So I doubt that people are lining up to sign up to be experimented on. That's the first thing. Here, veterans used in secret experiments sue military for answers. This was in 2015. These documents it's easy to find this information. It's easy. This has been going on for years. It's never going to stop. America is one big experiment itself. Look at it. Our food supply is contaminated with harmful chemicals. The air is being sprayed with harmful chemicals. There's harmful chemicals in our water supply that's banned in certain countries, along with the chemicals that's in our food is banned in certain countries. So why are they allowed to experiment on us like we're guinea pigs without us, the people? You know what? That's another video. But let's just finish giving y'all a little history on how they perform these unethical experiments on non-consensual citizens and non-consensual soldiers. It's the information is out there. In 1995, Bill Clinton, um, in front of the White House, gave a speech apologizing on behalf of the government for experimenting on its citizens unconsensually with radiation. I played that. Oh, here, speaking of which, right here, the Albuquerque Tribune, it said prompted the creation of the Advisory Committee of Human Radiation Experiments by the executive order of President Bill Clinton to monitor government experiments. It published results in 1995. This is what I just was speaking about, right? This right here, and another thing that one should worry about when it comes to the army. Michael Aquino, who started the Temple of Set, who was also friends with Anton LaVey, who got the Church of Satanism, the Church of Satan. And also, they both studied the doctrines of Aleister Crowley. So not only did we decide to give this man one of the highest positions in the military one could obtain, we also looked for this man on his extensive knowledge on psychological warfare and torture. So these are the things that he was used for to teach our military. So the ideology of it all comes from some dark and twisted places, some dark and evil people itself. It all started with Aleister Crowley, the do what thy will. All of this plays a part. This is why our military is in such shambles. Not to mention about Operation Paperclip, when they brought all of those Nazi scientists over here, over 500, gave them new identities, gave them a new life, and gave them some of the best jobs and funding that one could only imagine. So you have to understand that America is rooted in this type of things right here. America is rooted in this type of things, in these type of things right here. This is what America was built on. This is what America is built on. We're actually in the third Welch or third Reich right now. So, yes, I definitely believe wholeheartedly that Robert Card was actually a subject of experimentation. Not Let's not forget about Aaron Alexis. Aaron Alexis, the soldier who was experimented on with extreme low frequencies, who carved Elf into his firearm and went on to the Navy Yard and committed, you know what he did. So as you can see here, like I said, this is what the media don't like to talk about. This is why the media will forever be enemies of the state, because they're fully aware of what's going on, but it's just the people at top that's calling the shots on how the information is given and assimilated to us on a broader level. This is all just propaganda and bullshit. They're just literally playing the masses, right? So as y'all can see, this type of thing is nothing new. This has been going on for quite some time. It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. You have to ask yourself, why isn't this brought up when they're talking about how people are all of a sudden hearing voices out of the blue at the age of 40? How could this type of technology not be brought up? How is that? So they're just gonna act like that none of this exists though, like it's still sci-fi, or like the military, like we could trust the military. The military is known for all type of heinous acts, horrific acts, for murder, for experimentation, as I stated, on prisoners, on citizens, on the elderly, on the young, on non-combatant, on combatant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are just pawns. We're casualties of their sick, twisted, demented war. And we're going to always see the media covering up for them, and the CIA and the higher ups orchestrating how the news is disseminated to the people. But I'm glad to be living in the time that we're in right now, because the world is waking up. People are understanding what's going on. More people day in and day out is waking up to the truth. And that's the reason why I talk about things like this. I'm just playing my small role in this big picture that's being painted. And I mean, you have to pick a side in times like this. There's no playing the middle in times like this. There's no. So it's like you're going to be helping, sharing helpful information as such, helping wake people up, helping raise the consciousness, and helping make people aware of what's really going on and who the true enemies are. The medical field is corrupt. Our government worldwide is corrupt. Military worldwide corrupt. Politicians corrupt. We're nothing but cash cows, slaves, and guinea pigs to these people. And it's just all a weird, strange coincidence that Robert Card started hearing voices after he got high powered hearing aids. And it's weird that they even put that in there too. It's like they're mocking us, like we can't put it together. Like it's really crazy. These people are psychotic, and these are the games these people play because they poke the bear. They experiment on people like this and hope that they go out there and do something such as horrific as this to further their agenda. Their sick, twisted, demented agendas. And it's crazy how they're using people such as us, citizens, non-combatant citizens, as the guinea pigs to push these agendas. So their agendas, our lives are literally not worth anything to these people. Anytime they could orchestrate events such as this, hypothetically speaking, or allegedly for YouTube purposes. So yeah, those who know, know.